Welcome back to another video of Batman. In this video, we're going to see what happens from last video's cliffhanger. In the last video, in issue number 102 of Batman, what we saw was the Ghostmaker is in town. We have Batman, he's teaming up with Oracle, who is Barbara Gordon, and yeah, she's just helping him out behind the scenes, with computers. But Batman's trying to protect this new character, Clown Hunter, right? Because Clown Hunter, he's not a villain, but he has some motives to kill clowns, right? So it's a hard situation to deal with, and Batman's saying, okay, take out all the clowns in the city, I can protect him, it's all good. But Ghostmaker shows up out of the blue and says, no, you're doing everything wrong, Batman. You caused the Joker War, you made this whole city go into chaos. So Ghostmaker and Batman started a fight, and they started a fight for the city of Gotham. Now, other stuff we learned was that Ghostmaker and Bruce Wayne have knew each other for a while. Ever since they were like teenagers, they actually fought off against each other, and they were rivals in the terms of finding different like masters or different trainers. So wherever Bruce would go, Ghostmaker would be. Now we see more of that in this issue, but most what we see in this issue is their big fight, right? And also some Harley Quinn and Clown Hunter. But yeah guys, if you're ready, let's dive into Batman number 103. We begin in the Gobi Desert many years ago. Bruce is looking out. He's in this desert. He's peaceful, right? And that's when we see the Ghostmaker. He comes by and Bruce says, not tonight. Now Ghostmaker, fully suited up with a sword, ready to fight, says, that's not how this works. You don't get to schedule me in. Get up and fight me. Now Bruce says, come back in the morning. I'll fight you then. Now, Ghostmaker looks, and he puts his two swords into the ground. Now, that's when he sits by Bruce and says, this isn't like you, Bruce. Now, Bruce responds, you almost sound concerned. Now, Ghostmaker says, no, I don't feel things like that. I'm just irritated. I learned 3 new forms of martial arts, and I wanted to try to break a few of your bones before I found a new teacher. But you managed to suck all the fun out of it without trying. Why on earth are you being so boring? Now, Bruce says, today is the anniversary, the day my parents died. And Ghostmaker says, and Bruce says, just leave me, I'm training out here. Now, Ghostmaker says, no, you're brooding, that doesn't count. The point is to be conscious of every grain of sand. Now, Bruce says, you've already trained with the Desert Kings. And Ghostmaker says, for 2 months, last summer. Now, he looks at Bruce, and Bruce looks back. But Ghostmaker says, I'm sorry, Bruce. And Bruce says, I thought you didn't feel things like that. Now, Ghostmaker says, that's not the kind of sorry I am. You're going to fail. It might not happen right away or all at once, but you're going to fail because you're letting your emotions make you vulnerable. You understand that I could have killed you if I wanted, that I could still kill you right now. Caring makes you weak, Bruce. Now, Bruce gets up, grabs a sword. They both have their swords ready to fight. And Bruce says, no it doesn't. Let me prove it to you. Now, we go to the present day, and Batman and Ghostmaker are fighting for the city of Gotham. Now you hear Oracle in the background say, I don't understand what's happening, Batman. I can't see whoever you're fighting from any angle, and his voice is distorted. Now Bruce says, you won't get him on record. You won't find his name in any international database either. You need to stop trying to get a look at him. If you brush up against his ghost net, his computers will eat you alive. Now, that's what Barbara says. Who the hell is this person? Now, Batman says, he's the Ghostmaker, and he's not supposed to be here. Now, that's what Ghostmaker, keep fighting against Batman, says. See, that's exactly how it's supposed to sound. You used to make fun of the name. Don't you remember you said you didn't need a mask to fight crime in Gotham? How long did it take for you to start calling yourself Batman once you hit the streets? A week, a night? Batman. He's a man dressed like a bat. Very, very clever. You one-upped me again. And Barbara says, what is he saying? This is driving me nuts. Now Batman grabs Ghostmaker and he says he's still upset that I made fun of him when he was 15 years old. He slams Ghostmaker's head to the ground and says, hey, he's even more upset that I'm beating him every time we've gone head-to-head since I turned 20. Now Ghostmaker gets up with his sword in hand and says, do you want to know what I've done today? I've only been in Gotham about 12 hours. I thought I'd ease into it. but there's so much work to do. I leaked the criminal activities of 14 different district judges through the Gotham Gazette. Your inept police are already taking them into custody. I saw the string of homicides those same police hadn't linked together. The killer was clever enough not to try a gimmick or put on a cute costume. The man is already en route to your Arkham. I also sent the FBI the location of 6 incoming shipments of heavy artillery from Santa Prisca. That was before I left my plane, Bruce. And you're busy protecting children like this clown hunter who have already been twisted into killers. You always have soft spot there. I don't have soft spots. Now Batman says, run, Bao. Get the hell out of here. Now Clown Hunter starts running as Ghostmaker goes after him. And Clown Hunter says, yeah, sure thing, Bats. Now Batman follows Ghostmaker, grabs him by the cape, slams him to the ground. Ghostmaker says, I don't care much about this child, Batman. It's more what he represents. It's the same fight we've been having for years. It is all too personal to you. You care too much to save the city. You're failing, Bruce. And I need to shock you into seeing that. That's the only thing that you've ever really processed. Trauma. So I'm going to kill this kid in front of you so you get a clear enough head to see how bad a job you're doing. Now, Batman says, you're a psychopath. And Ghostmaker responds with his sword pointing at Batman. Yes, that's exactly why I'm better than you. And that's when we shift to Harley Quinn. She's with this whole plant, and it's supposed to be Poison Ivy, right? So Harley's essentially speaking of Poison Ivy, and she recaps everything about the Joker War, how Harley shot Joker, how she's teaming up with Batman, how she's doing better, and how she's going to become a better person if she's not dead first. Because that's when we see Clowner just show up and try to kill her with his bat. Now, that's when Clowner says, so, you talk to a lot of plants? And Harley says, oh sure, sometimes it helps to get the inside thoughts outside. You know, old trick from when I was on the other end of the psych ward. Find some kind of totem to have the conversations you need to have with the people who aren't with you anymore. It helps to keep your brain together, to hear the things you're thinking. Now, so Clowner elbows her in the face, you're a crack. And Harley just swipes off the blood off her lip and says, like, right now, I'm thinking that there's this weird teenager with a mohawk glued to a skateboard helmet, and he's in my apartment trying to kill me. Now, Bao says, how do you know I'm a teenager? Now, Harley says, oh, honey, that's so sweet. Did you think people were going to mistake you for a grown-up? Come on, you stink like a teenager. We don't talk about it much in polite society, but you all haven't figured out all your new oils and hormones, and you all stink way more than you think you do. Sorry, kid, you'll grow into it. Get some deodorant. Now, Clown just gets all angry, starts attacking more, and Harley laughs and says, that was a good hit. You're half good at this. Now, Bao says, you don't have to sound too so surprised. I've had practice. A lot of your old friends in the clown mask stained my bats. Now, Harley says, and we're what now? And Bao says, I call it my bats. Now, Harley says, that's great, I love that. You're a funny kid, I like you. And Bao says, I don't want you to like me. Now, Harley says, rude, I'm very likable. Now, Bao just starts getting really angry. He's like, stop playing with me. And Harley says, look, I'm pretty used to people trying to kill me. The novelty of the whole thing has worn off. Now I'd kill you myself, I'm trying to be one of the good guys these days. And I don't think that'd fly with the old pointy years. Now, Bao says, good guys, and he continues, do you think you can be a good guy? How many people have you killed? How many more did you watch Joker kill? Now, that's when Harley just knees him in the crotch, guys. That it looks like it hurts. Knees him in the crotch, slams him to the ground, and she says, in my professional experience, the only people who keep track of how many they've killed are completely nuts, and not in the fun way. But I try not to live in the past. I'm all about finding my potential, and my future is looking shiny and bright. Now, as we see Batman comes to the window, and Harley says, yeah, I'm gonna need to bribe the hell out of the landlord now. And you see Batman's bleeding. And Batman says, I told you to run. Now Bao says, not until I finish what I started. Now Harley kicks him to the ground and Harley says, hey Bats, don't be mad. I didn't kill him or anything. I'm tying him up like you hero types do. We could toss him over to the pigs so he could get tormented by our city's broken justice system. See, I'm picking up the hero thing fast. Now Harley looks and see a sword stabbed through the center of Batman. Now Harley says, I'm also picking up that you've been stabbed, huh? Hey, people who listen to Batman's head radio thing, he's been stabbed a bunch. We're in Little Santa Prisca, 93 Team Street, 3rd floor. The kid from the Narrows who killed all those clowns in the Joker War is tied up. guessing whoever did the stabbing is gonna show up in here in a second and try to finish the job. Oh wow, these swords are cool. And Ghostmaker jumps to the window and says, they really are. You're Harley Quinn. I presume you're the boy's target. Now Harley says, so you assassin or something? Do you work with Big Julie? Now Ghostmaker says, I am not assassin. I am a crime fighter. I am called Ghostmaker. Now Harley says, huh? That's a dumb name. Now Ghostmaker hits her back and says, I have the city. Now Batman gets up and says, Denton Quill. And Ghostmaker says, excuse me? And Batman says, the serial killer's name is Denton Quill. I've had a member of my family trailing him for 2 weeks, waiting for him to reveal where he stores his trophies, so we can pin every homicide on him. We seek a Sandra Kane Batgirl. She's telling the serial killer. Now, Batman continues, those families will have to live with hearsay now. We'll never know how many victims he had. Now, Ghostmaker says, that's an excuse. You shouldn't have let him stay out on the street. Now, Batman says, ugh. The judges were under the thumb of an international mob boss named Tiger Shark. You just destroyed a RICO case that would have put a master criminal away for life. Now, Ghostmaker says as he stabs into Batman even more, now you're lying. And Batman says your Ghostnet already has the files from the district attorney's office. You know I'm telling the truth. Now, Ghostmaker says, huh. And Batman says, I replaced the ammunition for the weapons from Santa Prisca 6 days ago with faulty shells. It was way to take down their buyers here in Gotham. Now Ghostmaker says, prove it. Now Batman says, I am not perfect, Ghostmaker. This city is dangerous. I could always do better, but you don't understand Gotham or what it needs. Now Ghostmaker points at Bow, aka Clown Hunter, on the ground. The boy killed 24 people in the midst of Joker's last attack, more than 3 times the number of our serial killer friend, Mr. Quill. And you're protecting him? Now Batman says, you think that if they threw him into Blackgate, he'd stop? The guards would help him, for God's sake. And Ghostmaker says that he requires more permanent action. And Batman says he's 17 years old. He's watched his parents die in front of him, damn it. And Ghostmaker says, and there it is. As always, you let your emotions get in the way of your work. I'm taking you off the field, Bruce, and now I'm going to show you what Gotham City can be with a real crime fighter in charge. Now, Ghostmaker shoots a dart at Batman, and he's out. He's pretty much asleep now. Harley is asleep, and Clowner is asleep, and Ghostmaker is taking over. So guys, that was Ghost Stories Part 2, and first off, the artwork, alright? The artwork, it looked good in the beginning. I thought the whole interaction between Ghostmaker and Bruce, it looked actually pretty good. I like the artwork there, but I feel like having the fight be staged in broad daylight took away the effect, alright? Because seeing Batman fight against Ghostmaker, it looks good in some parts, but most of it's kinda, it doesn't really strike as much as, say, Jorge Jimenez's art or other artists. And at first I was like, okay, is this the artist's fault? Not really. It's that it's in broad daylight, and a lot of artists have these problems when it's like broad daylight, it's a big fight, and it doesn't really work as good. Now, the art's not terrible. It actually does good in the action sequences, and the panel layouts are really good, but at times it looks kind of stagnant, and it doesn't look as good. Especially the Harley and Clown Hunter fight. Guys, that fight in the apartment did not look good. Like, actually, Gooey and March did that part, and it just looked very weird. Like how the figures wore, how the panels wore. That was probably the worst part of the book in terms of the artwork. So yeah guys, the artwork in this issue is not that great. I don't think it's the artist's like fault really. It's just that it's in broad daylight. It's a weird, some of the fight scenes are kind of weird, and the Harley and Clown Hunter fight goes on for a long time with a lot of dialogue and kind of drags it out. So that's the first complaint I have, guys. The artwork is not top notch. Now, going on to the next thing, with Batman and Ghostmaker, the beginning, when they show up and Ghostmaker's like, hey, you're soft, you don't do what needs to be done, you have trauma. That's nice and all, and the confrontation isn't that bad. Like, actually, that was probably the best part for the artwork, and it's kind of interesting, but the problem is, we've seen this so many times before, guys, where Batman, somebody from his past, comes back and says he's soft, and we see his whole rivalry of teenagers. Like, I get that. Now, it's not overplayed out, but it's nothing really new, so it doesn't really strike that much. And for the beginning to be like this, it kind of takes up some patience that doesn't really need to be there. And why is Ghostmaker in full costume? Like, why can we not see his face? Like, that's a problem I have. I want to actually see him take out the costume and see his face. Now, that's not a big complaint, guys, but I just wish that we could go more into the past and see something that's new to the Bat mythos. Something that makes Ghostmaker's character unique. Because come on, like right now, his character is not unique. His design is kind of cool, but I feel like it could be done better with a better artist. And his past confrontation with Bruce and his whole relationship with Bruce, or his rivalry, is nothing big or new. It's not super interesting. So that's another kind of flaw in this issue. Now, we see Ghostmaker explains how he wants to go against Batman, how he's gonna make the city better, and then by the end of the issue, we see Clown Hunter and Harley are defeated, and Batman is defeated too. Now, I did think that Batman getting stabbed was a wicked image. It was a great way to end it, but I feel like Ghostmaker, he just talks too much too. Throughout the issue, he's going on and on. Oh, I did this, I did that, I'm a better hero. And Batman's like, no, you aren't. I have already one of my Bat family members on the job. I did like the Cassandra Cain reference, or the Cassandra Cain appearance. I'm a big fan of Cassandra Cain, so a seer in this issue is great. But yeah, guys, overall, this issue, it wasn't bad, and it actually wasn't even that decent either. It's still solid, but I feel like the artwork could have benefited from maybe a fight at night. I don't know why James Tynion chose to do this fight in broad daylight. I don't think that was the best use. Like, Batman's known to be at night. When does he fight in the daylight? Like, never. Like, that never happens. He's used to being Bruce Wayne. And I get, okay, he lost his fortune and all that stuff, but it's still weird. And then seeing Clown Hunter, all he does is run away and goes to fight off against Harley when he should be running away. I did not get that part. Like, come on, I can't even want to kill Harley, but you're in serious trouble. Now, and then again, Ghostmaker, his design's alright, but he's nothing new. I hope that they develop his character in the next 2 issues, because this arc only has 2 issues left, and we haven't really got anywhere. It's just a new villain comes in from Batman's past. Harley and Clown Hunter are still here from Joker War. It just feels like Fallout from Joker War and add a new villain. That's it. So we'll see how it goes, guys. But overall, I'm going to give this issue a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's passable, but it could have been better. I kind of expected better. In the comment section below, tell me what you thought about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it from 1 to 10? And yeah, guys, if you liked the video, give a big thumbs up, comment below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss on my next Batman comic review. We're going to have Ghost Stories Part 3 and issue number 104 in the next video. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.